Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Saksham Chabra and today this video is going to be the last video on this topic on my channel about how to book accommodation in Ireland in 2025. A lot of you guys are worried and confused about how to book accommodation since you all are coming for September 2025 intake. I will try my best to help you resolve all the doubts that you've been sending me in my DMs. So without further ado, let's start this video. Now, let's talk about the types of accommodation you can avail as a student when you're coming to Ireland for the first time. We've got two types of accommodations. I'm pretty sure you might have done your own research, but if you are not very much well versed with the accommodation situation in Ireland, let me help you. We've got two types of accommodations, on-campus accommodations and off-campus accommodations. I'm going to cover firstly on-campus accommodations because there's nothing much more to talk about it. So it's going to be a little part in the entire video. So on-campus accommodations are basically the accommodations that are being provided by the college to their students, and not all the universities provide on-campus accommodation. Make a note of this thing. Only few universities, I remember NCI has it, TCD has it, UCD has it, and few other universities in the county area has it. So make sure to go to your college page and see if your college is providing the on-campus accommodation or not. If they are, make sure to book it as soon as you can. Reason being because they run out of the accommodations really fast. Now let's talk about, will I promote on-campus accommodations or not? Trust me, do not get very personal as I'm about to make a statement in regards to on-campus accommodation. I know a lot of people book on-campus accommodations because they feel it's very much convenient. It's close to the college, but in my opinion, you are paying almost similar to what you would be paying to an off-campus accommodations. Go through the tariffs of on-campus accommodations, and you will agree to my point that the prices are almost similar now in 2025. So when it comes to off-campus accommodations, you will be having much more amenities, and you will be having much more of a student life because you will be surrounded with a lot of people. That's the same case with on-campus accommodations, but when it comes to the amenities and the kind of life without any restrictions, that is not going to be the case with on-campus accommodations. But if you are actually willing to book an on-campus accommodation, please book it. That's just my opinion. Feel free to book it. There's nothing negative I can talk about on-campus accommodation. It's just my opinion. But if you want to book it, just go ahead. That's not a bad option, because whatever you're getting right now, please take it, because accommodations are not easy to find in Ireland, especially in 2025. So that's all going to be on-campus accommodation. Now let's talk about off-campus accommodation, which is my favorite part of accommodation hunting in Ireland. So when it comes to off-campus accommodations, we've got two types of accommodations. Firstly, student accommodation, and then apartments and flats that you can rent. I'll be talking about firstly about student accommodations. I know you might be thinking that I'm promoting a platform again on my channel, as I've been doing it in the past few videos. Let me tell you this thing very honestly with you. I get a lot of collaboration opportunities from n number of brands, but I don't take each and every collaboration opportunity. I only take those which I can trust and which I can rely, and also which I've tried myself, because even I was there in your shoes at a given point of time. So I understand the situation. Like, I'm not trying to do it just for the money, because there's no money in here in these collaborations. Trust me, initially. Later down the lane, when you grow your page to maybe 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers, then there's some money, but initially there's nothing. So trust me, when I am promoting a personal platform, it's just because that I used it, I found it very helpful. That's why I recommend it. And as a matter of fact, I booked myself for the next academic year through one of these student accommodation platforms. So now let's talk about how to book it. I personally would suggest you to go through the link that I will be mentioning in the description of this video. That is from University Living. That is the best platform out there. Honestly, I know there are n number of platforms as well, but why I personally promote it, it's because I've booked my accommodations, I've made my friends book their accommodations through them, and I've seen nobody has ever faced any, I would say, disadvantage of booking through them. and it makes your life very much convenient and easy. It's just very simple that you go on to the link that I've mentioned, you register yourself that you're interested, then type in the country where you're looking. In our case, we're looking for accommodations in Ireland. So we'll be putting Ireland and specifically Dublin, and then go through the n number of properties. You've got filters like whether you want a room with ensuite or not, you want a sharing room or not, you want a room under certain budget, you can fix as well. So they are really great as a platform. Again, it's my personal experience, my personal good experience with them. That's why I'm promoting it, nothing else. So that's one way. And also, one good thing about on-campus accommodation, off-campus accommodation is that when it comes specifically to the student accommodations, you don't have to worry about the frauds, which I'm going to talk about later in this video as well about why I'm talking about frauds, because a lot of frauds happen when you book your accommodations, like off-campus accommodations, through other means that I'm going to mention. So firstly, these are very much well-renowned companies, so it makes your process very easy. I know people might argue that they are little expensive than what you would be paying for an apartment or a flat, but at the same time, try to understand the situation that you won't be paying anything for the amenities. Everything is included, like your water bills, electricity, internet, heating, Wi-Fi, whatnot. So student accommodations, in my opinion, for the first year, because when you are very much new to the country and you don't want to take any risk, is the most safest bet. So rely on it and go ahead and try to put the accommodation, a student accommodation specifically, through the link down in the description. Now let's talk about the other means of off-campus accommodation, like apartments and flats. Let's talk about where you can hunt these apartments. So when it comes to apartment hunting, you can rely on websites like daft.ie, rent.ie. And apart from that, I would highly suggest you to go through Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups. If you want, personally, I can send you the link of certain WhatsApp groups which post the accommodation openings. I think every now and then, every few hours, you will see a new accommodation being opened for leasing out. So I would personally, if you want that, I can send you that. Just drop me a DM on my Instagram. So let's talk about how these things work and why I am not a huge fan. I mean, I have met a lot of friends of mine who book their accommodation through these means like rent.ie, daft.ie, WhatsApp and Facebook groups. They got lucky that they did not get scammed. But normally what happens is the person who's selling you a particular property or an apartment, he would be like, I am going to send you the pictures, then you have to send me the deposit and 1 month of rent in advance. Yes, that's the case with booking apartments and flats, that you have to book, you have to pay 1 month of rent in advance as the booking deposit. So, and that's not the same case with student accommodation. With student accommodations, you just need to pay a small deposit of 200-300 euros at once. And once you start living over here, then you pay the rent as per your wish. It could be monthly, it could be quarterly, it could be bi-yearly, and you can pay all of it in advance. But that's not the case with apartments and flats. Now coming back to the point, so a lot of scams happen because the person who would be selling you the property would be sitting in some other country and would be showing you the flat that he or she pretends to own in Ireland, but that's not always the case. So if you are going through these means, WhatsApp, Facebook, rent.ie, daft.ie, make sure to call that person, make him to agree to come on a video call with you and make you see the flat in person, so that you can verify that this person is authentic and he's not trying to scam you. So make sure to have your red alert caps on all the time when you're booking through these means. It's not bad because a lot of people find good deals when it comes to booking your apartments and flats through these means. Normally, why people get inclined towards these deals? Because of one thing only, the costing. You will be able to find, let's for an example, a student accommodation would cost you somewhere around 1100 to 1300 euros per month. Similarly, a flat or an apartment away from city, I'm not talking about in city, because in city you will find an apartment for minimum 1500 to 2000. The rates are very crazy. Let's not talk about that. If you are going to find a flat away from the city, it will cost you, like an ensuite room, a single sharing ensuite room will cost you 900 euros approximately. So what they will try to do is they will ask you 1 month of rent in advance as the booking, and you have to pay the first month of rent as well. So you would be paying 2 months of rent in the initial go. I mean, that's a little tricky and can be tough for few people financially. So make sure to keep these points in mind as well. The people get inclined towards these means only because of the costing, because when as soon as you move away from the city and you are okay traveling and spending your time while traveling, I think you can find good places to live sorry away from the city. So I personally am living in a student accommodation. Why? Because I cannot travel. The main aim that I had in my mind was to book an accommodation that is nearby the city center, and trust me, my place is just like 10 to 15 minutes of a walk away from city center, and I love it. All it's surrounded all with all the amenities that you can think of. I've got arenas, I've got theater, I've got grocery stores, banks, barbers, and a river to chill by. So, and also one good thing about student accommodations is that these accommodations, no matter what accommodation you book, student accommodations are built in an area which is surrounded by a lot of amenities, because these were built with the mindset that students would be needing these amenities. That's why they build their properties like that in those areas which is surrounded by amenities like just I talked about. So it's also a good thing about student accommodations. See, I'm not trying to sell you anything over here. I'm just trying to say that this has worked for me, and this is also going to be beneficial for you if you do. And at the same time, I'm trying to say this thing that if you're going to book through different means like DAF.ie, rent.ie, WhatsApp and Facebook groups, just be a little aware and precautious about it. That's all. Because our aim mutually is to get you an accommodation which is not getting you into troubles or which is not making you get scammed. That's my only concern over here. And I think I've talked a lot in this video now, and sorry for all the repetitions and small mistakes that I did while speaking, because it is one long video. I'm not doing any cuts here, so bear with me for that. And else than that, if you feel like getting in touch with me, I'm available on Instagram. Drop me a DM whenever you feel like. And if you want to take one-on-one sessions with me, my calendar is open again. You can book the sessions. The link would be in the description, and feel free to join my community, because WhatsApp community that I've created, people are helping each other out in that community. So that would be really beneficial for you if you can get in touch with the peers from the same college and from the same course that you must be attending. So it's a good opportunity for you as well. And else than that, thank you so much for watching this video, and sorry if I triggered you in any way, but my aim was to just make sure that you are not landing yourself in any trouble. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please, you know your part, what you need to do about the videos. And yeah, else than that, see you in the next one. Bye bye.